when first I heard about this idea of calling it networking, I had a little negative connotation to it because it almost makes it sound like, oh, this is really all about me and what can I do for my career, and I'm not really focused on the team or the organization. But when I really took the time to understand it, I realized networking as a Kellogg person is one of the most important things you do. It isn't about what is it about me. It really is by being somebody who's available for others, helping others, getting to know a lot of different people across businesses, functions, or whatever. You're helping them, you're paying it forward, and almost immediately, people's willingness to help you becomes much, much greater. One of the things that happens to all of us, if we're honest, is that we're very fortunate. We're Kellogg graduates. We're moving forward, and we've really got a great job. I've now become the CFO, or I've become the Chief Marketing Officer, or a division president. I can kind of check the box. I've done my networking. I'm pretty well set. One of the things I feel very strongly about is that as a professional, your networking is never over. It's a lifelong journey. I graduated from Kellogg 38 years ago. I spend a tremendous amount of time networking now. Why? Because you always want to be thinking about what I'm doing today and what I may be doing in the future. And when I think about what I'm going to do in the future, the whole idea, I think, at Kellogg, it's given us the ability to think in a very, very big way. Maybe I'm a chief financial officer, but I should ask myself, do I want to be a great finance person working for a company, or do I want to be one of the leaders running the company who happens to know a lot about finance? They're two very, very different things. The idea of being able to get out of your silo, your area, and realizing somebody, some man or woman, is going to have to run the whole organization or be one of the 2 or 3 people in the C-suite running the whole organization. Why shouldn't that be you? And the only way that's going to happen is to be able to get out of your function, get out of your silo, and understand how all of this fits together. As you're successful in any organization, whether it's a large organization or a small organization, you're getting very good and you're moving up the ladder in a certain area. But over time, you may have the ability to become into a larger role, running a division, running international, running the whole company. The only way that's going to be possible is for you to have a good enough understanding, even if you like where you are, to figure out what are the skill sets necessary to run a lot of those other functions of people that may be working for you, even though you've never been in that function. So that ability to get from what I call the roots to the trees to the forest, how does all this fit together? And the network ability to know enough people, both inside and outside the organization, to help you put all that together. When I talk about networking with younger people, one of the things that almost immediately comes up is, over time I need to do that, but right now I just need to focus on the job. I just need to demonstrate the fact that I'm capable of doing this and doing a really good job, and that networking will come later when I have more time. And as I love to tease students, executives all the time, you're not going to have more time later. This is one of the key things you need to be doing in your first day, your 10th day, your 10th year, your 30th year. That ability, having a key part of what you do, having the ability to have a network that can help you get things done. One of the things that I was told early in my career that I would love to share with folks is that in any job you're ever in, today or in the future, at any level, any size, there's really only 2 things you have to know. The first thing you have to know is, what are you really, really good at? What do you bring to the party? What do you bring? And the only other thing you have to know is, who knows what you don't know? Because the combination of what you know and being able to get to the person who knows what you don't know, that enables you to run anything. One of the issues that often comes up is, okay, I get it. This networking thing is important, but how do I do that? What does this thing really look like? And I'm a great believer in, the more people I openly try to help, the more that are going to help me. So let's start very simple. I'm a young person, I'm in my first job, and as I talk to different people, I'm going to find out what are things they're very interested in. Are there certain areas they're studying or they're trying to work at? and I start sending them an article. Hey, I just read this. This may be real helpful to you. I think you worked on this project. And I keep notes in my Outlook of what different people are interested in. You mentioned you were working on mergers. Here's a book that I found out that may be helpful to you. And you do that, you get a note back from these folks saying, hey, thanks for the article. Thanks for thinking about me. What could I do to help you out? I make a little note. There's another person who's asking me, how can they help me out? And you do that with hundreds of people, and it's fun. You learn something from every single person. One of the things I find is that networking isn't like a task. I view it as very, very positive. I've not only realized I can learn something from every single person, but it just helps me get a much better understanding of what's going on. When I tell people that you can learn something from every single person, some people say, well, yes, but what if they're not an MBA? What if they're not a Kellogg person? When I say you can learn something from everybody, I mean everybody. This ability to build a network across everything that you're part of. And every institution that you get involved with, whether it's your work, whether it's your play, whether it's your entertainment, that helps you become a much more fulfilled person and gives you the ability to come up with other ways of growing as a person. One of the things we talk about a lot in leadership is what are really the qualities that make somebody an effective leader. And when we talk about the fact that networking is a very, very important part of being an effective leader, sometimes a person will say, boy, but I'm sort of introverted. That's not something that comes real easy to me. Well, again, if you think about what we're doing, we're building relationships. This is not something where you have to be extroverted or you need to be charismatic. Many introverted people I know are very interested in being helpful to other people. So in a very low-key way, hey, I read this article, you may want to take a look at this, or you know what, I'm heading to this event, that may be something you may be interested in, and maybe you just send them a little note. But by demonstrating the fact that you care about other people, that's opening you up to a lot more opportunities, even if this is not going to require you to be overly extroverted.